All right, folks, here we are, GAMA Expo. We're experimenting here a little bit with the camera, see how this works. Um, both the camera and the microphone. We're going to see how well this works. So we're at GAMA Expo. We're at actually just a stairway landing up over one of the main concourses outside some of the one of the main walkways where one of the ballrooms is. Try and slowly pan this without messing too much up so you can get a look at what's going on down here. Got a whole lot of folks walking around down here. That's one of the main ballrooms down there where a lot of the events are taking place. We got a lot of people cruising the concourse. And they've got the big sign down here where you can take some pictures. We'll probably try and get some in a little bit. But so far, the expo has been, let's call it interesting. Again, as expected, there wasn't going to be a whole lot of acknowledgement of wargaming around here because that's just sort of who GAMA is and how GAMA rolls. But we're slowly making some inroads. What is good is we've got a lot of interesting industry knowledge that we've been able to pick up while we're here regarding some manufacturing, some shipping, some distribution issues. Talked to a bunch of different media folks about who they are and what they do and how they do it and how they're able to do certain things. Picked up some neat tips and tricks from them and made some friends there. There's a lot of interesting outlets here. One of the things that's kind of interesting is there's a lot of folks that fall in the media and events category that are straight up content creators that are building. They're the kinds of folks that make the little hype videos for Kickstarter campaigns and such. And honestly, what we're learning from those guys is a lot of who we don't want to be, what we don't want to do, how we don't want to act. Not that there's not a role for those folks in the board gaming ecosystem out there at all. Just not, that's not a niche we want to fill and not something we want to be a part of. We've learned a bunch from sitting into some of the different retailer discussions about branding and store operations and how people do some of the things they do and some of the decisions they make. How well that's able to inform wargaming as a whole remains to be seen. But more information is better than less, and so that does help. I will say it's still a little weird that for a lot of the people here, we are the primary voice of wargaming because we're the guys that showed up. And I don't know that that's an accurate summation of who we are in the wargaming world because guys like Ardwolf and the Player's Aid and Zilla and Mo all have way bigger live audiences than we do, for sure. You know, we do have a role that we play in a lot of the events that GAMA is a part of, especially Origins. We're here, like we're in the room, and so they talk to us, and it gives us an opportunity to sort of have that voice heard. And I think having more voices heard is better than not. It's just a matter now of kind of getting people in the room to be a part of that conversation and to see where and how we can push wargaming a little further forward and back into the mainstream for board gaming as a whole. I do think there's a way to do it. I think there's roles that we can play to do that. I think there are places where it can absolutely happen. We're still trying to crack the code on it, and I think that's true of all of us. So we'll see what we get. This afternoon, I got a day job conference call, which is kind of annoying, but we've got, I'm hoping that our first guest that we record this week for our podcast hits is I'm hoping the scheduling all works out. It's one of the biggest names in hobby gaming history. And you'll just have to stay tuned for the podcast to find out if we were able to pull it off. Now that I've hyped it up way too much, watch it, have a problem happening. We'll see. So the hallway traffic is starting to thin out a little bit as everybody's getting to their 2 o'clock sessions. So we're going to sign off. We're going to see how well this works and maybe come back a little later and hit you guys again. In the meantime, there's GAMA Expo. We're here in Louisville. Again, staying inside the building because downtown's not the most attractive part of Louisville easily. But we'll see what we can show you guys later, maybe with some video. We'll just have to see. It's a bit of a science project this year where we actually have some new toys to play with from our production side, but have a better sense of who to talk to and when to talk to and why to talk to them and all that good stuff. So thanks from GAMA Expo, and we'll catch you soon.